Hey everyone, we're going to go over the answers to number 19 bell ringer. This is the bell ringer that was assigned for class today. So I wanted to make this video just to go over the answers with you. I'm sure most of you had a pretty easy time going through this. And if there's any mistakes or anything that you don't understand, please feel free to reach out and let me know. So number one says Westmoreland, California is 157 feet below sea level. Dallas, Texas is 430 feet above sea level. What is the difference in the two cities' altitude? So to kind of explain this, obviously we have we'll just draw kind of a generic number line here. And we have Dallas, Texas. All right. So we'll put a D up here for Dallas, Texas. This is 430 feet above sea level, which means we'll use blue here. Here's our sea level. And Westmoreland, California is below sea level. So it's actually negative 157 feet if we're describing this. So Westmoreland is below sea level. And they want to know what is the distance between the two cities. So when we do this, this is actually an absolute value problem. So I'm going to say the absolute value, and I'm going to find the difference of the two numbers, which means I'm going to subtract. So 430 minus negative 157. And we do the absolute value here because whenever we're finding the distance on a number line, we know that we might end up with a negative value, but distance is always positive. So that's why we use the absolute value here. Because this is a subtraction problem, I'm going to jump back to my leave change opposite rules that I use for integers. And I can rewrite this now as 430 plus positive 157. And again, still doing the absolute value. Leave change opposite because it was a subtraction problem with integers. The answer to this is going to be, let's see here, 0 plus 7 is 7, 5 plus 3, 8, 1 plus 4 is 5. So it's going to be the absolute value of 587 or 587 feet of difference. Number 2 is just asking us to solve, and this again is just reviewing those integer rules. If you remember, the integer rules for addition, we sing our song, which is the same sign adding keep song set to row, row, row your boat. So negative 18 plus 7 is a different sign. So one's negative, one's positive. So we would subtract the values. 18 minus 7 is 11. And we use the value or the sign of the number with the larger absolute value, which would be 18. So this would be negative 11. 45 plus negative 13, again, different signs. So we're going to subtract the values and we end up with 32. And the 45 has larger absolute values, positives, and the answer is positive 32. Negative 9 plus negative 27, they both have the same sign. So we're going to keep the sign, add the values. And 9 plus 27 is 36. And letter D, we have negative 1/4 plus 3/4, different sign, subtract, which would give us 2/4. It's going to be positive because it has the larger absolute value, and 2/4 would simplify to 1/2. Number 3 asks us just to label the number line with the appropriate equation. So if we're starting at 0 and we're moving left 4 spaces, we say that that's going to be negative 4. And from negative 4 to positive 4 is a difference of 8. So this problem would, if we wanted to label it, be negative 4 plus 8. And that obviously equals 4. And we are going to create the number line for problem number 4, which has us starting at 0 and moving left 4 units because it's negative 4 plus negative 1, which means adding an additional unit to the left, and that equals negative 5. So those are the solutions for our bell ringer number 19.